Hey guys, me Seren, back with another car video from the pits of hell. This fucking red light isn't motherfucking winter time grand. So I wanted to film this video, briefly talking about, so Gabrielle Union made some statements about, basically about intersectionality and how, you know, like the sexual assault is like really dominating kind of our cultural conversation right now. And she made statements, and Gabrielle Union is a sexual assault survivor. She was raped when she was in her 20s, which she has been very outspoken about. And she's done a lot of advocating for survivors of sexual assault and abuse, and just women in general. And so, as we all know, like the whole like sexual assault like conversation has just been like huge. And Time magazine picked the Me Too movement as its person of the year, and it featured like 5 women on the cover. And I think it was like 1 black woman, 1 like non-black Latinx, and like 3 white girls, 2 of which were like Taylor Swift and like Ashley Judd. Now, like right there, I felt some type of way about them putting Taylor Swift on the cover, because y'all know I don't fuck with Taylor Swift, and I just feel like using Taylor Swift, of all people, somebody that is a fucking professional victim. Like, I really don't care if that's like not politically correct or whatever to say, like, but like this bitch is a fucking professional victim. She's made an entire career out of accusing people of wronging her. Like, putting her on your cover, I feel like is just like, wow, like Taylor Swift, like here's somebody that's been caught multiple times in lies and is a fucking bully and is a fucking, like, I kind of personally feel like Taylor Swift assaults people like herself and tries to like get them out of the paint. So like in and of itself, like putting Taylor Swift on their cover as like one of the main people on their cover rubbed me the wrong way. Putting any famous women on their cover rubbed me the wrong way. I'm gonna go ahead and say that putting any white women on their cover rubbed me the wrong way. And Gabrielle Union came out with this statement that pretty much explained like why, like, it rubbed me the wrong way, and obviously it rubbed her the wrong way, and obviously it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because she basically, what she came out and said was that, like, well, you know, it's amazing to see that sexual assault has finally been, you know, catapulted. I'm paraphrasing, obviously these are not like her exact words, but, you know, she said like it's amazing to see that like sexual assault and like sexual abuse and like rape and like all this stuff, you know, gets catapulted into our fucking, you know, our national public conversation dialogue after, she used the phrase, the perfect victim. After we have the perfect victims, right? After we have the Taylor Swifts, young, blonde, white, you know, innocent white girl. After we have the Jennifer Lawrences, you know, after we have, you know, rich white women that are already powerful, that are already in places of power, that already have a modicum of power and respect, that already sit in this certain spot due to their white womanhood, you know, that now that we have these perfect victims, that now we can finally talk about, you know, sexual assault and rape and trauma and abuse. And again, like Gabrielle Union was a victim of rape. She was raped when she was in her 20s. She's been very outspoken about it. She's been a huge advocate for women. She's been a huge advocate for abuse survivors, assault survivors. Like, here's somebody that's like literally been talking about like rape and sexual assault for like years. What's her name? Tamara Burke, that's her last name. I hope I'm saying that right, and I hope I got that right. I'm in the car, so you know I don't have like anything in front of me on the computer or anything, but I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it wrong, or if I get her name wrong, like, please correct me. Is the black woman who like started like the Me Too movement, hashtag Me Too, which before it was even a hashtag, like the Me Too movement was started by this black woman in 2006, right? So like 11 years, almost 12 years ago. She started this movement as a way to educate and to provide support for women that have been the victims of assault and abuse, sexual assault, abuse, rape, things like that. And she even like responded to what Gabrielle Union said, and she said like, you know, like you being outspoken about like your rape and what happened and being a survivor and like speaking out against it. She's like, you know, you're one of my like prime examples that I've been using in my workshops for a decade for the Me Too movement. And the fact that they did not put the black woman that started the Me Too movement, they put the movement, right? But they did not put the black woman that started the movement on the cover of Time, right? They put fucking white girl like Taylor fucking Swift. Like Taylor Swift, like I'm really offended, guys. Like it really fucks with me that they put fucking Taylor Swift on the cover, who has literally made a career like out of being a white feminist fucking asshole. And like this is just a prime example of the many, so many prime example of like the way that white feminism works. Like again, you have to be white, which again, this is Gabrielle Union's basic fucking point. You have to be white for people to listen to you. Like okay, you're a woman, I'm sorry you're a woman, but like at least you're white, like so people are still gonna like listen to you, like because you're white. And if you throw in being pretty, if you throw in being rich, if you throw in being thin, if you throw in being blonde, if you throw in, you know, being fucking straight, if you throw in being able-bodied, if you throw in being in a position of power, having a modicum of power, then again, like you are what Gabrielle Union calls the perfect victim. If you are not any of those things, and if you are not the perfect victim, nobody's gonna listen to you, and nobody's gonna care, and nobody's gonna give a fuck. And yet again, like this is the way that fucking white feminism works, is that like white women above like all else, and like white women above everything. And this is the way that whiteness works in general, is that shit doesn't matter. Nothing matters until it matters for a white person. Nothing matters until it impacts a white person. Getting back to fucking drugs, which I have a fucking whole drug addiction rant video. Like drug addiction didn't matter until it started affecting motherfucking white people in the Ozarks and in Appalachia, fucking getting hooked on opioids. And now all of a sudden it's a mental health crisis, and we need to give them clean needles, and you know, like and we have to fucking coddle them. When it was niggas that was hooked on fucking crack, it was lock those niggers up, throw the book at them, fucking lock them up, throw away the key, put them under the jail. That's just the pathology of a motherfucking nigger. But now that it's affecting white people, we care, right? When fucking all these fucking black girls came out against R. Kelly, whatever, who cares, right? Nobody gives a fuck, right? When a fucking black woman accused fucking Harvey Weinstein, Lupita, we kind of just, it was like a bajillion fucking white girls that accused Weinstein, and it turned into this big thing. Lupita said something, that, and he like has some statement there, that would never happen, that's completely ridiculous. Just the devaluing, the constant devaluing of black women, the constant devaluing of black people, and just the message, like the fact that they picked the Me Too movement and they put like these white people as the face. The fact that they put anybody other than the fucking creator of the movement who is a black woman is just absurd. But then the fact that they like took it that extra step further and put these already rich and powerful white women like Taylor Swift and Ashley Judd, are you kidding? And I have nothing against Ashley Judd, but like Taylor Swift and Ashley Judd, like, are you kidding? Like these already like powerful, rich, privileged white women as like the face of like the Me Too movement, which even the fact that the movement didn't even like go viral until like Alyssa Milano, white, privileged, powerful, rich white woman. And I fuck with Alyssa Milano, like I love Charmed, whatever, right? But like that shit didn't even matter until it was a white person, until it was a white woman. And yet again, just again and again, like falling in line with this idea of like the whiteness impacts everything, like race impacts everything. Race really impacts everything, and I just like don't want to fucking hear otherwise. And then like you see people trying to like argue down Gabrielle Union, talking about why do you have to make it about race? Why do you have to point out like the race of the victims? Like a victim is a victim, and also you're basically saying that you feel like the black victims should take precedence over the white victims. It's like, no, number one, no. What we're saying is that we want fucking equal treatment across the board, because there's not equal treatment. And the fact that you feel like somebody saying we want equal treatment of black women is preferential treatment just goes to show that y'all feel like if y'all are not up here, if y'all are not on the top tier, that something is being taken away from you. When that's like, if anybody gets like pulled up, y'all feel like they're getting preferential treatment. Like, y'all supposed to be the only ones. Like, y'all supposed to be the only ones getting any type of motherfucking fucking just not being treated like a fucking animal, like human being, humane treatment. Like, and it's like so ingrained. It's like so fucking ingrained that it's like wild, especially because like the way that we grow up here in the United States, we're like really raised with this like bullshit. Hopefully this like, I mean, again, like I've said before, if I ever grow up and have children, like they're not getting raised in no type of like American school system, like no, nothing, like I'm literally gonna like take them and like go raise them in the woods or something, because it's just like the way that we're even raised with this like idea of like, you know, don't see color, race is not like a thing, being colorblind. It's just like so but meanwhile, at the same time, right, at the same time that we're being like force-fed this like propaganda of don't see color, race is not a thing, race doesn't matter, like colorblind, like everybody's the same. At the same time that we're being told that, we're also being taught white supremacy, right? Like, we're also being indoctrinated with the system of racism, white supremacy. Like, we're also being brainwashed to have all these motherfucking colonist ass ideas about how like white people are better than everybody else. So it's like, it's just like so many levels of like motherfucking brainwashing going on, to the point where like you really have to like delete your whole fucking mind. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. Like, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Otherwise you look at what Gabrielle Union is saying about how nobody cares until there's the perfect victim, i.e. ideally a white person. Nobody cares until there's the perfect victim. And you're like, why is she saying that? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. A victim is a victim, and race shouldn't matter, and color shouldn't matter. Like, you're completely, like, your mind is completely already like shut down to the fact that race already matters, that we already see it play out again and again, that the assault of black women doesn't matter when fucking compared to the assault of a white woman, of a delicate white precious flower. Especially rape and like sexual assault here in a fucking America, that holds like the rape of a white woman here in America like really like is a fucking thing. Like, it holds a certain place like in our, again, like in our cultural collective, our collective consciousness. So it's like we already have ideas about like the rape of an innocent delicate white flower versus the rape of a fucking savage fucking hypersexual fucking black woman. We already have those ideas. They've already been indoctrinated into us. You can't even fucking begin to unlearn, because you can't even fucking admit that it's already there and fucking accept it. And when somebody tries to tell you, like Gabrielle Union, the first thing you do is like you look at her like you don't understand what the fuck she's saying. Like that shit really has like its fucking hooks in people like so deep. And it's just like really wild to witness. And I'm glad she said something, because it's 100% true. And I was just like, I haven't even been wanting to talk about this whole situation, because from the jump I've been feeling exactly the same, which is why I have not made no videos really about it, nothing. Like, because from jump I've been feeling exactly the same. Like, okay, so like now we're gonna talk about this type of thing because it like matters to like white women. So like now we're gonna motherfucking care. Yet again, just like now we're gonna talk about drug addiction and shit like that, because now it motherfucking matters to white people. Like, fuck white people. Like, fuck them. Like, fuck them completely, 100%. I'm never surprised by them. Like, we better be in 2018. We better be 4 years on YouTube. I have yet to be surprised by anything a white person says and does. Like, it's just like, they're just too much at all motherfucking times. And this is just like another classic example of how like shit doesn't matter until it matters to a white person. And how you can't even point that shit out without people acting like they don't understand what the fuck you're motherfucking talking about. Like I said, you have to really like unplug and like delete your whole mind. And like most people are just not gonna do that, because they're just like, they're too deep. They're too deep. You guys know I love the fucking Matrix, which was allegedly fucking written by a black woman, but we're not even gonna go there. And like like Lawrence Fishburne says, like, we have a rule that, like, once a mind gets to, like, a certain age, like, we don't unplug them because you just can't, like, they can't accept the reality. That's like 99.99% of the motherfucking population, in my opinion. Like, niggas just can't, they can't take it. They can't. And I get it, because that's dissonance again. Like, that's dissonance because, like, on one level, like, you're raised being told, like, anybody can do anything, and, like, anybody can be anything they want, and, like, race doesn't matter, and, like, da-da-da-da-da. But yet again, on another level, you're being, like, brainwashed and, like, motherfucking indoctrinated with these beliefs about, like colonialism and, like, you know, like, Eurocentric standards of beauty and, like, the system of racism, white supremacy, and, like, all these, like, ideas that fucking clash and really don't make any fucking sense, that you have to, like, really retreat and, like, figure out. And that's also why niggas be so angry. Like, I was so angry as a child. I'm still obviously a seething motherfucking rage monster. And it's just because, like, you're being told certain things on one level, and then you're, like, seeing shit on another level, and you just don't understand. And people just basically do the equivalent of, like, burying their heads in the sand. And the shit is wild. I applaud Gabrielle Union for speaking out publicly about what's going on. I mean, Time is a motherfucking white nationalist rag, just like the New York Times, just like all these fucking bullshit ass, just like motherfucking Forbes, just like all Forbes is also a motherfucking capitalist. We're not even gonna go there, but like, Time is a magazine that every single year they put out a motherfucking worst words, banned words list, which, like, 95% of the list is, like, slang, like, African-American vernacular English that white people have decided they're tired of, because they, like, ran that shit into the ground, like, faux shizzle and shit like that. So, like, the Time, like, it doesn't matter. But, like, I still applaud Gabrielle Union for saying, like, oh, now that you guys have your motherfucking perfect victims, when black women like me and the actual fucking founder of the Me Too movement, who you didn't even put on your motherfucking cover, have been talking about this shit, and we've basically been ignored because we were not your perfect, delicate white flower. We are, you know, your hypersexual fucking black women beast. But, like, now you have your perfect Taylor Swift victim. That bitch has really made a I applaud that bitch. She's really made a career out of being a professional victim, and she is like a roach. You could not fucking Taylor Swift down. That bitch gonna keep coming back. She is gonna appear in your kitchen the next day when you turn that light on. Like, bitch, I thought I killed you. Like, how are you still here? I applaud Gabrielle Union for what she said. Yet again, that's part of why I really have not been talking about it, all this shit that's going on, because I feel like it's really fucked up, as always, that it takes a fucking white person for some shit to motherfucking matter. And I'm just disinvested from this whole motherfucking system of racism, white supremacy. But you go, Gabrielle Union, for speaking on that shit. And she's been speaking on a lot of shit. She's I don't know, she, like, ran out of fucks somewhere in 2017. Gabrielle Union, like, ran out of fucks to give. So people haven't asked me what do I think about it. So, like, that's what I think. And somebody give me the motherfucking read for Taylor Swift, please. This bitch gotta go. See you guys next time. Food for thought as always. Car video. Peace.